Implementation of the Analytical Hierarchy Process, AHP, method for the decision support system for determining national project locations. Abstract. As time goes by, national project submissions have been increasing every year. In 2015 the number of national project submissions reached 2,500 fields. These are challenges and problems that must be faced by the National Defense Agency. National Project Service Program service officers often experience difficulties in determining the location of services in accordance with the appropriate community criteria because the process is still carried out manually. To assist BPN in making the decision to determine the location of national project services so that the implementation is more optimal by designing and building a decision support system using AHP method is expected to help the leadership of the Delhi Serdang District Land Agency in making the process of determining the location of national project services so that it is faster and more effective. From the three districts to be used as locations after calculating, the results of the process showed that the best location among Sungal, Delhi Twa and Kutalimbara districts is Sungal district with a final total value of 0.284722. Keywords: Analytical Hierarchy Process, Decision Support System, National Project. Introduction. The National Land Agency is a non-departmental government institution that is under and responsible to the President and led by the head of the National Land Agency, in accordance with Presidential Decree No. 10/2006, has the task of carrying out government tasks in the land sector nationally, regionally, and sectoral 1. The Land Office of Delhi Serdang Regency intends to surround the processing of land certificates as a complicated and impractical bureaucracy. This kind of condition has a negative impact because the community becomes apathetic in managing land certification at the National Land Agency office. Even though land certification is very important, not only for legality of land ownership. However, if viewed from an economic perspective, land certification can also be utilized by the community to obtain venture capital, so that the community can improve their standard of living and welfare. To improve services to the community in certifying their land, the National Land Agency holds a National Agrarian Operation Project Program, or abbreviated as the National Project. The Community National Project Service pattern must go through a sporadic land registration procedure, namely land registration in the area accompanied by a nominative list of potential participants, at least 5 plots. Land parcels do not have to be grouped in one stretch. The community does not need to come to the land office but simply wait at the designated service location. The community does not need to spend money in making land certificates with national project services. However, over time the submissions for national projects were increasing every year. In 2015 the number of national project submissions reached 2,500 fields. This is a challenge and a problem that must be faced by National Land Agency. In this National Project Service Program, service officers often find it difficult to choose the location of services according to the criteria of the right community to be served because it is still done randomly or only in a governmental environment such as in a sub-district 2. To assist National Land Agency in making decisions on the location of national project services so that implementation can be maximized is by designing and building a decision support system. Decision support system is an interactive information system that provides information, modeling and manipulating data. The system is used to assist decision-making in semi-structured and unstructured situations, where no one knows for sure how decisions should be made. 3. The filling of the criteria weight will be carried out by the management of the agency, while filling in the weight of each alternative for each criterion can be carried out by the management and other stakeholders of the Delhi Serdang Regency National Land Agency with an interest and can make it easier for officers to determine the selection of service locations in accordance with the criteria. The right society to serve. Based on the description on the background, the formulation of the problem is how to determine the location of services for the National Agrarian Operation Project, National Project, at the National Land Agency of Delhi Serdang Regency by applying the Analytical Hierarchy Process, AHP, method in determining the location of services for the Agrarian National Operations Project 4, 5. Not deviating from the goal, it is necessary to make a problem boundary, namely in this study the authors determine 4 specific criteria that will be taken into consideration, namely the number of submissions, the type of regional activity, population density, and the distance between the proposed land, and does not discuss determining the decision to apply. For a certificate. Land through the National Project Program 6, 7. Analytical Hierarchy Process, AHP, is a decision support model developed by Thomas L. Soddy. This decision support model will describe a complex multi-factor or multi-criteria problem into a hierarchy. According to Soddy, 1993, a hierarchy is defined as a representation of a complex problem in a multi-level structure where the first level is the goal, followed by the factor level, criteria, sub-criteria, and so on down to the last level of alternatives. With a hierarchy, a complex problem can be broken down into groups so that the problem will appear more structured and systematic. 6, 8. 2 research methods. Analytical Hierarchy Process, AHP, has the ability to solve multi-objective problems based on a comparison of the preferences of each element in the hierarchy. Basically the steps in the Analytical Hierarchy Process, AHP, method include 9, 10. 1. Define the problem and determine the desired solution. 2. Create a hierarchical structure. It begins with setting general goals, which are the overall system goals at the top level. 3. Make element priority. The first step in determining element priority is to make comparisons of elements in pairs according to the given criteria and compare with other elements. B. The pairwise comparison matrix is filled using numbers to represent the relative importance of an element to another element. 4. Synthesis. Consideration of pairwise comparisons, to obtain overall priority. These steps are: A. Add up the values from each column in the matrix. B. Divide each column value by the column total in question to obtain the normalized matrix. C. Add up the values from each row and divide by the number of elements to get the priority value. 5. Measure consistency. The things that are done in this step are: A. Multiply each value in the first column with the relative priority of the first element, the value in the second column with the relative priority of the second element, and so on. B. Add up each row. C. The sum of each row is divided by the priority concerned and the results are added. 6. Looking for a consistency index, CI. CI equals n/n1. 1. Information. CI equals consistency index. Equals eigenvalue maximum. N equals many elements. 7. Finding the value consistency ratio, CR. CR equals CI/RI. 2. Information. CR equals consistency ratio. CI equals consistency index. RI equals random index. 8. Checking the consistency of the hierarchy. What is measured is the consistency ratio by looking at the consistency index. If the value of the consistency ratio 0.1, then the assessment of judgment data must be improved. Repeat steps 3, 4 and 5 for all levels of the hierarchy. If the consistency ratio 0.1, the pairwise comparison value on the given criteria matrix is consistent. 7. Location services national projects number of submissions type of location population density the distance between the location very much moderate little market center government institution human settlements education center very high moderate very far moderate nearby single district Delitua district Limburg district criteria sub criteria alternative 3 result in discussion. This section is a discussion in analyzing problems according to the use of the method, where the process of determining the location of national project services is not a very easy thing. So far, National Land Agency Delhi Serdang in determining the location of national project services is carried out by choosing randomly and only based on crowds or around the government environment. This method of selection certainly has many shortcomings, especially in terms of data processing. It still uses the standard Microsoft Office Excel data processing application to record locations national project service. There are 5 criteria for determining the location used in the selection process, namely number of national project submissions, type of location, population density, distance between submission locations. Of course, these criteria aim to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of national project service activities. With a strategic location will be able to cover the number of national project services to the community. And also the work target of the national project in the National Land Agency of Delhi Serdang Regency can be achieved 11. As an example of its use, for example, National Land Agency wants to provide national project services to regions by determining the location of services by taking into account 4 criteria, namely number of national project submissions, type of location, population density, distance between submission locations. The criteria can be seen in this table. The criteria considered by managers and their assessors are 1. Number of submissions, very many, medium, little. 2. Type of location, market center, government institution, settlement, education center. 3. Population density, very high, medium, low. 4. Distance between proposed fields, very far, medium, close. Based on the determination of the assumed criteria, as well as the quantity from the survey results, the value of these provisions can be seen from the following. 1. Total weight of submissions. The weight of the submissions will be determined. The weight consists of 4 analytical hierarchy process numbers as in the following table. 2. Weight of site type. From the type of single subdistrict, the weight is determined. The weight consists of 4 analytical hierarchy process numbers as in the following table. 3. Population density weight. The weight of the population density will be determined. The weight consists of 4 analytical hierarchy process numbers as in the following table. Table 4. Population density weights. 3. Weighted distance between submission locations. From the distance between the filing locations the weight will be determined. The weight consists of 4 analytical hierarchy process numbers as in the following table. Sample case study. Of the several locations that will be used as a national project location against 4 criteria, namely number of submissions, type of location, population density, distance between submission locations. The data for each district will be entered into the following table. The steps taken in the AHP method are as follows. 1. Define problems and solutions. The problem is to determine the location of the national project service which is the best of the 3 existing alternatives. The initialization is as follows. A. Criteria. Number of submissions. Location type. Population density. Distance between locations. B. Sub-criteria. Very many, medium, little. Market centers, government institutions, settlements, education centers. Very high, medium, low. Very far, medium, close. C. Alternative. Single district. Delitua district. Limburg district. 2. Create a hierarchy. 3. Creating a comparison matrix of voter perception criteria. To create a comparison matrix that is suitable for input by voters, it is done in the following manner. The value of global priority is obtained from multiplying the location criteria column with the corresponding voter perception column as follows. 0.12500 asterisk 0.16667, plus 0.50000 asterisk 0.333333, plus 0.2500 asterisk 0.27778, plus 0.12500 asterisk 0.22222, equals 0.284722. In order to obtain the results of determining the location of national project services as shown in the table below. Based on the table of the results of the process above, it can be concluded that the best location among Sungal, Delitua and Limburg districts is Sungal district with a final total value of 0.284722. For conclusions. Based on the formulation of the problem in the previous discussion, the following conclusions can be drawn. 1. The process of determining the location of national project services at the National Land Agency of Delhi Serdang Regency uses the aspects of number of submissions, type of location, population density, and distance between submission locations. 2. Implementation of the Analytical Hierarchy Process, AHP, method in determining the location of national project services at the National Land Agency of Delhi Serdang Regency is carried out by defining problems and determining solutions, creating hierarchical structures, prioritizing elements, making synthesis, measuring consistency, looking for consistency index values. Look for the consistency ratio value, check the consistency of the hierarchy, and will produce the final total value for each alternative. 3. Application design for determining the location of national project services using the Visual Basic.NET 2008 programming language consisting of a login form, main menu form, location data form, criteria data form, subcriteria form, preference process form, location assessment process form and process form. The results of determining the location,